Hi guys, I'm back and I left you with a question about what motivates you and what's the curiosity you want to satisfy for the others and yourself. So let's move on. I'm sure you've thought of something. So we are going to today learn about story writing, and this is part two because this is where I'm going to tell you what are the things that a story needs to have. Okay, so moving ahead. So story writing is going to be a lot about what is a story. Okay, a story is something that's going to keep me thinking, something that's going to make me um, not rest for a while, thinking about what can be the development, right? So a story needs to have a lot of events that are going to make sure that I'm going to thread them up, get my plot together. Okay, so that's what your story should have, a lot of events. Now, each event should be meaningful. I would suggest each event should also carry some learning, okay, some experience that the reader could take with them. Because when you are trying to say a story, it's a lot of responsibility to share with them what you have learned and what you want to give them. Now, the story will have a protagonist, which is the hero. The story is going to have an antagonist who's going to try to pull down the protagonist, just like movies that we have seen, right? So, a hero and a villain and a lot of other people around. So, the protagonist is somebody who's going to try to build those events, bring the up and down, and then finally is able to reach the goal. So, the story obviously has to end when the protagonist will reach the goal, and that is what is called the climax. So what you started off with events, you try to give them the experiences through the events, a plot was developed, and then the main protagonist was able to come to a climax where he achieved his goal. Okay, now when you are storytelling, it is very important that the experiences of the event that you share with the people, they could be big and important events. Okay, so the reader should be able to reason out and should be able to learn from your experiences of the events that you are telling them. Okay, moving on, there are four crucial things that we have to use or put in our story writing. Okay, now the first one will 100% be the settings, which is what is your world, what is it that you want your characters to be around. That is the setting, whether it's a forest, as I have put in the picture, it could be a house, it could be a school, it could be a playground. And also, just to remind you, the settings can keep changing. Okay, so you can move these animals out of the forest and get the setting of a zoo. Okay, so that's one thing that you can do because it's your story. You can 100% change the settings. Then you're going to need a lot of characters, right? Your characters are going to be your protagonist, your antagonist, your friends, your other side characters, could be people in the community, could be your teachers, could be anybody. Okay, so but each character who you're going to put should have a good role or a specific role of why that person is there in the story. So that's again something that you have to make. These are the crucial points which you have to chalk down and make a rough sketch of. Okay. Third thing is your event. As I've been continuously telling you, there has to be a sequence of events, what's happening in the story that is supposed to be told in that story. The last thing, but not the least, of course, is your controlling idea. What is your moral that you want to portray through the story? What is your philosophy that you want to express? It can be anything. It could be about God, it could be about honesty, it could be about achieving goals, it could be anything. You don't have to be right or wrong. What you need to do is put in your thoughts, put in your morals, and let the reader decide for himself or herself whether they want to take it or not from the book or your story. Okay, so do not start thinking whether this is going to be right or no. Just start writing once you have your sketch or a background ready. So these four things you need to keep in mind. And in the last or the next session that I'm going to share with you is going to be all about how and what to keep in mind so that your learner, your reader is gripped to your story. All right. So till then, thank you and I will see you soon.